Okay, welcome team to our Connection Zoom tonight. We're so excited to have Rachel Cooper and Lori Green speaking to us and giving us their testimonies. We're going to start out with Rachel. She's going to share her testimony with us, and we're so excited that you're here to share this special story with us. So you can take it away.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start by telling you just a little bit about myself as it relates to my health. And why I started Plexus. Back in 2017, I weighed 326 pounds and I had an A1C of 11.8. My doctor said that I was probably about a year away from dying, and I was 49 years old. And I was a single mom, and I had two children, one in about, I want to say he was fifth grade and one in ninth grade. And I wasn't ready to leave them. And so I thought, I've got to do something about my health. I had tried everything. I have a few autoimmune disorders. Most of my siblings all have been diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I had never been diagnosed with it. My doctor recommended that I have a gastric sleeve. And so I did. So I lost 120 pounds on the gastric sleeve and kind of rewrote my life. Dropped my A1C down to under 6, started walking. I never felt better. So I entered my 50s feeling like I was living for the first time in my life. I'd always been heavy. I don't remember, like even through high school, not being on the heavy side. I have what we call a stocky frame, 5'5", broad shoulders, big hands, wear a size 11 ring. I've always been stocky, but I never remember ever being thin. And so it was quite a thing to rewrite my life like that and find health for the first time. Since that journey, I've gotten remarried. Kids have grown up. I've got a 16-year-old left here at home. I found Kathy because I was suffering from a problem every morning. Brad, my husband, I'm actually married to Bradley Cooper. Don't get jealous. It's okay. It's not the real one. He's just my Bradley Cooper. He says he's real, but he's my Bradley Cooper. But anyway, he's a fabulous, fabulous husband who brings me coffee every single morning. And it's kind of our thing. And I have enjoyed it for 4 years. And all of a sudden, I didn't enjoy it anymore. About the moment I would start drinking my coffee, I would feel like I just blowed up and my stomach would hurt. And all day long, everything would rattle around. And I was just miserable. I mean, I could feel it. Now, health-wise, what was going on, I really don't have an answer for that per se, because I've got some other issues. But I know that when I talked to Kathy and I told her that I couldn't even drink coffee anymore, that I was bloated every time I even ate anything or drank anything, I just felt like it just sat in me like a rock. And my belly was just so upset. And I asked Kathy if she thought she could do anything to help me. And she said, yes, I think that you've got your probiotics are off, in your gut. You get bad stuff and good stuff, and we need to get the good ones up and get the bad ones gone. So she recommended the triplex for me, which at that point I was so desperate, I was willing to try anything. And so I called Kathy, and Kathy set me up, and we got that order in. Now, the minute that I started that, I kind of was like gung ho. Okay, here's my bottles. Okay, let's take 2 of the ProBio. Let's take 1 of the Bio Cleanse. And it's about 10 o'clock, and I've got my Plexus mixed up and everything like that. And then I got indigestion that would kill normal men. I mean, let's admit it, they can't give birth, so they can't handle indigestion either. But I am dying here, right? It feels like my heart is going to explode. I've got indigestion so bad. I called Kathy. I was like, Kathy, what's wrong? And she said, well, let's not do the slim right now. And let's just take 1 of the ProBio and 1 of the cleanse, and let's just ease off on the slim. So that got me, I suffered from that heartburn, that really severe heartburn, for about 4 or 5 days. And then I started back on the slim, and I started just sipping it, not, just making sure that I was just taking a sip And then it would last me hours and hours and hours throughout the day. And I'm not quite even sure what happened other than I was really messed up. I mean, clearly I was really messed up because I couldn't even drink coffee or eat anything without just being terribly bloated. So there was something wrong in there, and I don't know what it is. But anyway, we've worked through that completely so that I can now take my triplex every day and drink my thing every day and go through that. For me, getting back to being able to eat was very, very important. I would love to experience the weight loss that I'm seeing Nikki and some other girls do, but I'm actually experiencing a weight gain with this. And I don't think it has anything to do with what I'm taking. I think it has to do with the underlying Hashimoto's and thyroid issues and stuff like that. So I've been doing a lot of research on some other stuff that we have. And I've got some nerve issues. I've grabbed the nerve. I've got some immune issues. So I've grabbed the immune support. They just arrived yesterday. So today was my first day on them because they just came in the mail. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the immune support, the nerve, and I also got ease as well, will help me try to, modify my health issues, and those kind of things. I don't expect Plexus to be a miracle for me, but I hope that taking something that's natural will keep me off of pills that are chemical. When I go see my rheumatologist, because I have rheumatoid arthritis, when I go see my rheumatologist, all that he can prescribe for me are chemicals. And I don't, I will take what I have to take to be able to keep walking, to be able to keep moving, to be able to keep exercising, to be able to keep working. But if I have an option of taking something that's 100% natural in order to keep moving and keep walking and keep, living, then I'm going to do that. And so that's really what my hope in Plexus is that I feel better. I do feel better. I don't want you guys to think because I've got some other issues that I don't feel better. I feel better. I didn't expect a little weight gain, but I guess if your belly's not digesting well, and then you get your belly digesting well, it's just taking everything that you're having and it's using that as nutrients to make, to support your life, and so I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but I'm working through it. Kathy is a really great support for me because she's got years and years of experience. And we're researching and we're trying, and I'm willing just to try anything and any kind of combination of anything, just to help me and to help other women in my area that are having problems. The people that I've reached out to, that I've shared with, are people that have complained about just being miserable, just having no energy, just feeling like they can't even get through their day. People that are close to my age, and I'm 55 now, or going to be 55 in a couple of months. And, I over the last 5 years, I just feel it more than I did. And I don't know. I mean, I've never been this old before, so I'm really not sure what this is supposed to feel like. But then there are a lot of people who say, Rachel, you just do so much. You just do so much. And so maybe it's not that maybe it's just, I just expect to have the energy of a 28-year-old and do what 28-year-olds do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but I want to be able to do everything I want to do. So I want to work a full day, and then I want to come home and do 2 sets of nails on the girls that need their nails painted. And then I want to get up and cook dinner with my husband. And then I want to do laundry. And then I want to do, what I'm saying? And I want to go until 10 o'clock, and then I want to go to sleep. And so maybe it's an unrealistic expectation that I should be able to do every single thing that I want to do without any kind of exhaustion or any kind of tired or any kind of frustration or anything like that. I don't know, but I know that I sleep better than I've ever slept. And my husband can attest to that because I was an insomniac prior to taking Plexus. Up all night, 2 or 3 a.m. He'd say, baby, what you doing up? And I'd be like, I can't sleep. Now I sleep, and 5 minutes before my alarm goes off, I wake up naturally. I love that. I look over, it says 5:55, and I'm like, woohoo, man, it didn't even go off. And there's nothing like waking up naturally because it's a good feeling that's refreshing. So I sleep better. I eat better. I feel better. I go to the bathroom regularly, and it's not always diarrhea or always constipation, which is what it was before. It was always one or the other. It was never anything in between. And now I'm regular, and it looks regular. And I don't have to say, come here, look at this. Does this look, I don't have to do that anymore because it's just normal. I feel normal. My husband, he likes to comment, but I am better, and I know that I'm better, and I feel better, and I just have more to go. I have some more things that I've got to work out, but I feel like I'm on a team of people that genuinely care about me getting the right thing and getting the right answer. And I know you guys have got lots of experience with people that come to you and say, hey, I've got a thyroid problem. Hey, I've got Hashimoto's. Hey, I've got this, or hey, I've got that, or I've got rheumatoid arthritis. And so I don't feel like I'm somewhere where people are going, gee, we don't even know where to even start with you. I feel like everybody's like, okay, well, I had somebody and they tried this, and you can't lose when you've got a team that's willing to share with you those other experiences so that you can work through it. And I promise you, as I experience something and then I share it with somebody else, it's based on my experience and what I've done. I believe that cleaning out my gut was the best thing I could have done for myself. And despite, like I said, not experience a weight loss or anything like that, I still believe that I'm headed in the right direction, and it's a direction toward health. So 2 months in, senior silver, just sharing and just loving ladies and just trying to get them health. I believe that, I'm with a good company, and I'm really, really, really pleased to be here. It was probably one of the best decisions I ever made, was to start addressing my health in this way and to go the natural route. And it's just, like I said, if it's going to keep me off of putting chemicals in my body and loading myself up with medicines and things like that, and it's going to keep me moving and keep me able to help other women and able to spend life with my husband, then that's exactly what I want. And I'm just very, very, very pleased that I made this decision. So thank you guys for having me, and thank you for just loving on me and making me feel welcome and making me feel appreciated for being a part of your team, because I feel it, and I really needed it. So thank you so much.
Rachel, you're the sweetest thing ever. I love your story. I love your story. Sadie does have some info in the comments. I want you to go read that. And we do have some notes that we're going to talk to you about later. Okay. We have some things that are going to help you. Okay. But, and I know people might have some questions, and we can maybe do that afterwards when we're not recording, for people to ask some private questions. So if you have notes, you want to write down questions about Rachel's story, please do that, because this is a very dynamic story that I know a lot of people need to hear. Okay. Definitely something that a lot of people, I was the same type of person that did gain weight when I started the triplex. And those were some things that we had to work through. So, this is real things for people. So I want people to know that just because that happens doesn't mean it's not working. Just like she said, it is working. It's just a process that we you didn't get the way you are just by a small amount of time. It took me a long time to get the way I was. So my body had a lot of healing that it had to do. So, and I can tell that Rachel feels the same way. And so we can talk about more questions at the end about that. But Lori, I'm so excited to hear your story, and I will let you take it over, and I'll mute myself. Lori, you're muted.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm Lori Green, and sorry, I just got a yes for the party tomorrow night, so I almost jumped out of my chair. Yes, I'm still getting so excited. So anyways, okay, I'm Lori Green, and I'm going to just kind of combine my really quickly, because my first testimony was 14 minutes on my health. So I'm going to combine my health and financial testimony, because I think it's very important for you all to hear about how I have felt about the financial part of this, because I'm sure and I know some people can relate. But this all started in October of 2020. I had been home for about 8 months with the girls, literally did not leave my house. I was not going to leave my house. We weren't going to get COVID. My first husband, I had our 14-year-old, 13-year-old with us at the time, 12 at the time. And he had leukemia. And so we had to keep all the girls here. Jason was the only one that left the house. And so my granddaughter was here and I went to get up off the floor and I couldn't pick her up. And I was like, oh, dear Lord, what is wrong? I was exhausted all the time. My depression was at an all-time high. And I'm just going to be very real with you all. This is not new to some of you. When I'm talking depression, we're talking divine secrets of the Yaya sisterhood depression. Like I could have gone to a hotel and stayed and not had any phones or anything bother me and just slept for days and days on end. That is how bad my depression was. And I wouldn't drive. I would not, none of it. It wasn't happening. And I remember trying to get up with Blakely and I was like, this is ridiculous. And my sister, I had for 4 years, my sister, my cousin, my best friend, so many people offering me Plexus. And I was like, no. I had just spent like $400 on another program and I hated it. And I had tried everything, just like Rachel said. And so finally I called my sister and I'm like, just whatever, just give it to me, whatever it is, just, I don't even care. And so we got with Jody and decided what I would need. And I was just thinking, Jason even said, what are you wasting money on now? That's not going to work. Exact words. And so I started the triplex thinking, oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds immediately. This is going to be amazing. I didn't lose 50 pounds, but what I did lose was a whole lot more. I lost that horrible depression that was debilitating. I remember going to the cabinet and I called Jody and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think Sadie was on there at the time too. And I said, that cabinet was filled with medicines and prescriptions. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't need those. I'm not running to grab those antidepressants and anti-anxieties. And I remember saying to them, I think this must have been what I felt like before I had the boys. Now my boys were born in 1996 and 97. So we're talking 21 years of horrible depression. And I'm like, I can't even believe this. And Jody was like, okay. And, she's like, all right. And I said, but I have a side gig. So it's okay. I do something on the side and I'm doing very well. We literally giggle because she's like, okay, babe, well, can you tell me like, how much do you make with that company? And I said, I made $4,685 and whatever cents. I had it down to the exact in 15 months. And I can't even imagine what she felt like on the other end of that phone because I was like, it was a big deal. And she's like, okay, well, anyways, 4 hours later, yes, she gave me 4 hours of her time. 4-hour phone call later, I was sharing. I had even passed off people to my sister. I was like, I am not sharing. Do not ever ask me. So the health wins kept coming and kept coming, from the inflammation to the depression to helping with the anxiety. Allergies. I was literally miserable all the time with allergies. It was horrible. I wasn't going to the restroom. It was just, I can't even list to you all. You know that graphic where the woman's holding her head and there's all these things listed, like 20 some things listed. I literally had like 21 of those problems. And now I probably have 2. And so it was just crazy. So then I did start sharing a little bit after Jody and I talked for 4 hours. So I went to my husband and I was like, these products are working. Can you believe this? And then other people were like, these things are working. And it was just such an exciting time for me that I could literally help someone instead of slinging a product and, all the things I had with the other company. This was just so different. And my heart was so pulled to help others feel the way that I felt. I wanted them to get out of whatever pit that they were in. That was very important to me. And on my first testimony, you'll hear me say, I promised God I have promised him for 21 years. I have journals written. In every journal I was praying to take the depression away. And one day Mackenzie said to me, she's my oldest, she'll be 30 this year. I have 2 grandbabies. And she said to me that year, she said, Mom, I just want you to be the mom that you were with the OGs. And I have 5 kids. 3 of them they'll be 30, 24, and 23. They're 23, 24, and 30. And then we have a 14 and a 15 and an 8-year-old anyways. So there's like a generational gap there. And I'm remarried. And anyways, so that really hurt me. It didn't hurt me because she said it. It hurt me because she could see that I wasn't the same mom that I was with her and her brothers. And so it was very important to me to be consistent. It was very important to me to listen to my body instead of just accepting another prescription from my doctor. And I had a picture, you guys. I have had so many people come to me over this picture that I finally did. I have a picture of a pile of prescriptions and over-the-counter medicines that I would take daily. And it was crazy what I was taking. And every time, oh, you're about to pee your pants. Oh, let me give you a pill. I can stop you from wetting your pants when you laugh or cough. Okay, that was the final straw for me. Whenever I was going to get a pill because I was laughing, because of that, it was just a nightmare. And so my doctor has been amazing. He has listened to me. I'm an advocate for myself now. He supports what I'm doing. He's thrilled. We have not had in 18 months, we have not had to have an emergency visit for my depression and anxiety. We have not had to have any, calls where he's had to call me. We have not had to have any of those things. And don't get me wrong, do I get gloomy? Heck yes. I have a safe space. It's my bed and I love it. I love it. Even if I'm not depressed, I love my safe space. And so, but I don't have to go there. I can choose to go there now if I want to. It's not something that I have to go in and I can't get back out. So many health wins, so many amazing things. The sleep, I used to be up all night long, watching TV, get up and down. It was a nightmare, y'all. It was a nightmare. And so, my latest health testimony that I would love to give real quick before I talk to you about the financial stuff is, so I had this thing where when I would turn or move my arm, my shoulder, it was like, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. Like it was like, oh, and it would just like stop me. It would just like stop me in my tracks. And I'm like, okay, something's wrong. And so I'm always listening to my body. I'm always thinking something's wrong. I started Ease and Nerve. I have not had that since I started Ease and Nerve. And I was in a car wreck when I was 17. I'm always at the chiropractor, just all kinds of things with my neck. My neck would be burning. I was able to go Emerald. We have a team of just a freight train coming. And I'm telling you, in Magic Week and Magic Weekend, it's crazy. You are on the computer. And I realized for the last 2 months, I wasn't complaining about my neck. I wasn't crying. I wasn't anything. So whatever it is, Ease and Nerve have helped me so much. So that's my latest win. But I'm going to talk to you guys real quick about the financial part of it, because when I first started, like I said, I wasn't making very much with the other company. I thought I was, but I had talked to my husband and he said, okay, you go to those ladies. That's what he called them before he knew them, Jody and Sadie. And he goes, you tell them, those ladies, yeah, if you can make $1,000, you will not have to go find a job after this COVID. And I'm like, oh my gosh, $1,000. So we got on the phone and I was like, okay, what's it going to take? I need to make $1,000 a month. Since then, on the 3rd month, I made $1,000 and it's never been lower. And I remember calling them. Do you guys remember this when I was able to give Jason the first $1,000? Do you guys remember that? It was amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, what? Like, holy cow. Like, we were so excited. But then I was like, ooh, I'm making money off people feeling healthy. And I started getting these icky feelings about it. And I was like, this is not right. But you know what? If I was climbing the corporate ladder, would we be celebrating? Heck yes, we'd be celebrating. If I became the new district manager of Walmart at Lake of the Ozarks, would we be celebrating? Heck yes, we would be celebrating all those big things. So I got over that real quick when I was able to give him the $1,000 and pay for 2 years of travel softball. If y'all know how expensive, if you have a baller, you know how expensive that can be. They're both in competition dance. I have been able to send fun care packages to my boys, one in the Air Force and one lives in Michigan now. I am able to, Friday, Mackenzie was feeling a little, she's in between building houses and stuff and living in a camper at their new property in their new shop. And I was able to call her and say, get ready, let's go to Big Surf. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yep, my treat. And we got the babies all together and we got them all ready. We took the grandkids and took McCallie. And I was so happy when he gave me that total. I was just like, thank you, Plexus. Thank you, Jesus. Because I was able to bless them with that. And before, it would have been a struggle. I would have had to call Jason and would have had to just like, oh, I don't think we can afford it. Like, oh, I don't know. So just the little things that I've been able to help with along the way have been incredible. Now, I just ranked Emerald 2 months ago. So we're adjusting to this income, but we have been having a talk today about finances and what we want to do and what needs to happen. Literally, you guys, we don't have car payments. We don't have house debt. We don't have a lot of debt. In 2 months, we'll be able to pay off. He'll be completely debt free and I'll just have a little bit of one student loan left. And so if we just stick to this, and so that just to hear him talk like that. And I want to tell you guys about so I hate going into Walmart and the grocery store. It drives me crazy because it just does. I'm a homebody. I love my home. I love my home and I love to be here. And so one day he likes to do that. He likes to do that stuff. So one day he's like, can you go and get this and this? And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I'll go take care of the groceries and I'll take care of Walmart. And I came home and I'm like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe the price of toilet paper. I couldn't believe the price of groceries. And I was like, oh my gosh, I kept calling him. Are you kidding me? Paper plates are this high. And so to be able to get those things and not have him have to worry about that stuff and to be able to bless him with helping him with the financial, in most houses, the man is the financial, he brings in the money. And so to be able to bless him with that has just been something that I would have never dreamed of in my life. And Plexus is so good to us, y'all. They continue. I'm sitting here with a brand new MacBook. There's an iPad upstairs. There's watches. There's all kinds of things. There's just everything. I look around and I would call every time I would win something or I would do something. I wouldn't even give them notice. I would just FaceTime Sadie and Jody in our thread and I would be like, can you even believe this? Like, you guys. And they're just like, yes, babe, I'm like, right. And I'm like, I just can't even believe this. I still have to pinch myself. And so I don't know. I just can't even believe it. I still can't. It is the biggest blessing from God. And when my Emerald announcement went out, I was like, oh, ooh, I don't know. Is that braggy at first? Heck, no, that's not braggy because you know what? We work for it, y'all. We work for it. We help these people. We love them. We help others rise. We lift them up and help them change their financial story. And that is my lifelong goal, is to turn around and pick the next girl up and help her do the same thing that those two ladies on the screen have done with me. And that is a win in my book. And if you believe, all you have to do is believe in yourself. Just do it. Just do it. Just take the chance. I promise you, you won't regret it. And my final thing is my van is starting to, I said I wasn't going to get the Lexus, but we stopped in St. Louis one day before convention and we looked at them because my van is kind of getting icky and there's no more softball. It's now high school softball. So I don't have to carry around a bunch of girls with nasty socks and shoes and all the things. So we have been talking about getting a new car now. That would have never, ever been an option, ever. And so the wins just keep coming in. And I just can't even tell you all, if you just no matter where, there's a place for you on our team. There's a place for you financially. There's a place for you everywhere. If you just want to be your products paid for, great. We love you. If you want to go all the way, great. We've got that thread too. And we've got a lot of people coming. So I just am very thankful. I'm very blessed. And I just appreciate everyone's support and just that's pretty much it. So.
Lori, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. It's an amazing testimony.
Thanks.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording so that way we can start asking questions and talking. Okay.